As long as you're not down, any other fall is within your reach. If your bar isn't being reached, that's no reason to lower it. You can't miss an opportunity to learn something. Dreams remain dreams if you don't go for them. A man is all-powerful as long as he does nothing. He who conquers himself is not afraid of anything. Turning our backs on the past turns our backs on the future. Emotions arise from thoughts. If you don't like your inner state, you need to change your thinking. The meaning of life is always there. You just have to find it. Happiness is killed by regrets about the past, fear of the future, and ingratitude for the present. Revenge is like biting back a dog. He who is given by nature to speak can sing. He who is given to walk can dance. For something new to come into life, you have to make room for it. When you understand something, it becomes easier to live. And when you feel something, it's harder, but for some reason you always want to feel, not to understand. Now that we have learned to fly through the air like birds, swim underwater like fish, we lack only one thing: to learn to live like people. You don't learn to skate if you're afraid of being funny. The ice of life is slippery. One must live, one must love, one must believe. One must love life more than the meaning of life. Only he is truly happy and great who does not need to be obeyed or ordered in order to represent something. One need not try to change one's whole life. One need only change one's attitude toward it. He who does not know into what harbor he is sailing, for him there is no tailwind. Every man has three characters: that which is ascribed to him, that which he ascribes to himself, and finally, that which is in reality. Looking to the past, take off your hat. Looking to the future, roll up your sleeves. Some things in life cannot be undone. It can only be experienced. Life is not about waiting for the storm to end soon. Life is learning to dance in the rain. Worrying doesn't eliminate tomorrow's problems, but it does take away today's peace. Even if you are eaten, you have two ways out. Desire is 1,000 ways. Reluctance is 1,000 obstacles. Happy is not the one who has a lot, but the one who has enough. Life may not be worth living, but what else can you do with it? To live without use is an untimely death. The supreme shame is to lose the meaning of life for the sake of living. The tasks given to us by life are not answered at the end. If a person begins to wonder about the meaning of life or its value, it means that he is sick. To bow to no one and expect no one to come bow to you, that is the joyous life, the golden age, the natural state of man. We can't stand people with the same faults we have. The most pleasant thing is to do something they think you'll never do. Pay no attention to small faults. Remember, you have major faults as well. Don't be afraid of big expenses, be afraid of small incomes. If you buy what you don't need, you will soon be selling what you do need. Be yourself. Other roles are already taken. Successful people have both fear and doubt and anxiety. They just haven't let those feelings stop them. If desires don't match opportunities, you need to either limit desires or increase opportunities. Don't judge another man's ways until you have walked at least a mile in his moccasins. Life has exactly the value we want to give it. Man ponders the purpose of his existence. Perhaps oysters ponder the same thing, unless some waiter has discovered it to them. Life diverts our attention all the time, and we don't even have time to notice from what exactly. If you've suddenly found the meaning of life, it's time to consult a psychiatrist. Is there a meaning to life? Depends on when. Living is like loving. All rational arguments are against it, and all healthy instincts are for it. If there is no pleasure in life, there must be at least some meaning. One begins to think about life and money when it comes to an end. We are bound to life by those to whom we serve as a support. Only he who has lost everything worth living for is free. In life, one should not try to outrun others, but oneself. Is life worth living? That is a question for an embryo, not for a man. What the mind of man can comprehend and believe that he is capable of accomplishing. Strive not for success, but for the values it provides. I owe my success to the fact that I have never made excuses or accepted excuses from others. The hardest thing to do is to begin to take action. Everything else depends only on persistence. One must love life more than the meaning of life. Life is what happens to you while you're making plans. Logic can take you from point A to point B, and imagination can take you anywhere. 20 years from now, you will be more disappointed with the things you didn't do than the things you did do. So set sail from the quiet marina. Feel the tailwind in your sail. Move forward, take action, discover. One should always start with what sows doubt. Real responsibility is only personal. An unmeaning life is not worth living. Your time is limited. Don't waste it living someone else's life. Winning isn't everything. Everything is the constant desire to win. Science is organized knowledge. Wisdom is organized life. I don't have the word impossible in my dictionary. You will never cross the ocean unless you have the courage to lose sight of the shore. Freedom is worthless if it does not include the freedom to be wrong. Either you rule your day, or the day rules you. If you think you can do something, you're right. If you think you can't do it, you're right too. The two most important days of your life, the day you came into the world and the day you realized why. Start doing anything you can do, and even things you can at least dream of. There is genius, strength, and magic in courage. The best revenge is tremendous success. Weak people spend their whole lives trying to be as good as everyone else. The strong, by all means, need to become better than everyone else. It's all about thoughts. Thought is the beginning of everything, and thoughts can be controlled. And that's why the main business of perfection, to work on thoughts. There is only one way to avoid criticism. Do nothing, say nothing, and be nothing. The man you are destined to become is only the man you yourself choose to become. Walk confidently in the direction of your dreams. Live the life you've made up for yourself. I hope that at the end of my days, when I stand before God, I won't have an ounce of talent left, so that I can say to him, I have used all that you have given me. It's better to be sure of a good result than to hope for a great one. Some things may capture your attention, but focus better on those that capture your heart. It is only worth believing that you can, and you are already halfway to your goal. You can't blame a child for being afraid of the dark. The real tragedy is when an adult is afraid of the light. Learn to say, I don't know. And that is progress. Start from where you are now. Use what you have and do the best you can. When I was 5 years old, my mom always said that the most important thing in life is happiness. When I went to school, when asked what I wanted to be when I grew up, I answered, a happy person. They told me at the time that I didn't understand the question, and I replied that they were the ones who didn't understand life. Fall down 7 times and get up 8 times. When one door to happiness closes, another immediately opens. But we often stare at the first one for so long that we don't notice the second. Everything has its own beauty, but not everyone can see it. How wonderful it is that you don't have to wait a minute to start making the world a better place. When I am freed from who I am, I become who I can be. Happiness is not something ready-made. Happiness depends only on your actions. If you are offered a seat in a rocket ship, don't ask what the seat is. First, define your ideal, set a goal. Then stock up on the tools you need to achieve it. Wisdom, money, methods, and materials. And finally, use all your means to achieve the goal. If there is no wind, take up the oars. Always rest on the thought that your own decision to succeed is far more important than anything else. Success is the ability to go from defeat to defeat without losing optimism. They ask, how can you do all your chores in 15 minutes? I say, it's easy. You have to not waste a single second.